Good afternoon. It's October 26th, and here is what we had today. Um, Really just a range day. And you can see the overnight range here. We went beyond the measured move, so what I did was I just drew from the midline of the overnight range to the level of resistance, dragged it up above that measured move, and you can see that's exactly where prices bounce. So really, I mean, if it's probably more exact, like if I drag it up like that. I mean, it's just pretty remarkable to me. That's fascinating. But anyway, um, let's get into it. I must have missed something in here. I probably didn't look at it. So let's find 5 o'clock. And 5 o'clock comes in right here. So honestly, with a bar like that, if you have room to the lows, even though it's not swing high, I say you go for 4 ticks there or something. It's a second entry short, so I like that. Come up here, first entry, second entry. This isn't off a trend channel, and by this time, you're playing around the midline, so I think it's dangerous to enter anything in there. And then we have this, excuse me, this small range right here, and buyers come in. That's probably 2 measured legs up. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, a little bit bigger than 2 measured legs up. And then we come up here and you get a first entry, second entry, but there's no signal bar. You get a higher low, so you might take that. But I mean, that looks like congestion at that point. This is a failure. And if there's room to these highs, well, even still, that's a little, we already tested those highs. So it's a little aggressive. But you could argue that this is a trend channel. So maybe you take those. But we're just flip-flopping. And I do like this one because there's room to these highs. First entry failed, second entry short right here. And we haven't, if this is a channel, we haven't tested this high, so you might think about that. First entry, second entry. And when it bounced here, I mean, I don't think you want to go long here because then we're expecting price to come back down, and that's exactly what they do. So I don't see anything in here. This must have been a news item, and at that point we just formed this big upward trend. That was a very nice trend up. And so yeah, here we come up. It's a failed break higher. I don't see anything that you can take in here. And we make this higher low and another higher. This is a failure, but it's too far away from the EMA to me, and too close to these highs. But that's exactly where it bounced. So I mean, maybe when it ticks lower and then ticks higher, maybe you take that. But not crazy about that. You get this second entry long right here. Actually, it's triggers right here. But this in the end kind of looks like the second entry. But this is all, it just looks like a range. And you can see we come back down and bounce here. And that gives us this potential trend channel. It comes up here, first entry, second entry. But I mean, I would take this, but it doesn't trigger. And then it just looks like congestion. So if you took this on a failure, because we just got confirmation of that trend channel, you would have gotten trapped, stopped out. And I mean, the only thing I can say is it's a range. You can see this congestion. So I don't think you can enter any of this, unfortunately. But we bounce and we move higher, and it's just congestive. And first entry, second entry, off that trend channel. Maybe you take that to ride it back to the EMA if there's even 4 ticks, 73, 75. So yeah, there is 4 ticks. So you might take that one. First entry, failed second entry. You might take this one. This looks like a second entry long, but this is a new high. But yeah, it looks like a second entry long and a double test to me. So you might take that, but then we're just going sideways, and you don't want to take any of this. Then we get a second entry long right here. It's a breakout pullback. I say you take that one. You can see some other people like that too. And we form this leg of correction right here. And you get a failure here, but that's too far from the EMA. And then when we get this looks like a second entry short. It's a failed second entry long. It's off the EMA. So you might take that. And if you don't take that, this one, I think I was looking, yeah, this is a failure right here off the trend channel, off the key entry point. So you might take that, and then you can ride that way down here. And we get this double test right here. Really, it's actually like a triple test, so, but the signal bar is no good. And you actually get, I'm seeing that you get a second entry short right here, but this is a range. I don't think you want to take that. No, we're just going down. And I saw this as a possible channel down. Doesn't really look like it would have helped at all, but you can see the validity with that midline. And all I did was I would assume all I did was draw it from these lows, these two lows. So you get a break of this channel, and this is like a fourth entry or third entry, so you can't take that. This is a second entry. Well, actually, the second entry is right there. I don't think you want to go in that. That's, first of all, it's congestive, and we're just flip-flopping. I mean, the bias is down. So I don't think you want to take any of that. And this is just too far away, I think. This is a failure. And then we sell off a little bit. This is a failure, but maybe you take that one. It's just, I think you'd have to take it on the engulfing bar. And that's a doji right there. That's just not a whole lot of good trades in here. This, I was looking at this as like a second entry, even though it doesn't tick higher. So maybe you take that one. And that brings us into 1230. And yeah, I don't see anything in here. This is a second entry, but you don't know what's happening with all that choppiness. So the way I'm seeing it, there's 2 blues, 1 red. The rest are pretty aggressive. So I hope you guys saw some better trades than me today. I hope everyone has a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.